Hello to the channel, welcome back everyone. I think we've done about 168 videos now and I'm still have the same rubbish banter at the start saying hello to the channel, and that's it. We're stuck with it now that it's hello to the channel. So in terms of today's video, we've got a big weekend coming up. There's lots of good stuff happening. We'll quick look at the overview and then we'll start going into the fixtures, etc. Some real specials. So the K-League Special Weekly, the Senior Special Weekly, which is for over 30s. Not one I'll be targeting or prioritising too much myself, but we've got the Senior Special and we've got all the normal competitions all running as well. So first and foremost, we'll have a wee look at the best fixtures. We'll have a look at the K-League's best fixtures, Celtic playsharper prediction, then we'll pick some teams. So a lot happening. So overview wise, we had a quick look at this in previous video, but the data has been updated now. So a standout fixture really is Hadrick split against Rudez. No real surprise there. Rudez are Johnny Rotten. Newcastle against Sheffield United, pretty good fixture. Molde, not really many licence cards. Matt Smollardelli, I think, is injured. Celtic, good to see the Hoops back in the contention for the weekend. No Celtic, no party last weekend, but still a couple of nice wins. Bayern Munich and Bayern in München in Germany, Sparta Rotterdam. So this is all for expected team goals. Anyway, we'll come back to that because we're going to have a wee look at the competitions. So first and foremost, we'll look at the K-League Special Weekly because there's a lot of cash on offer here. There is still some data to be downloaded, so we'll have a look and I'll give you my opinion on the games anyway. So Jean Book against Diageo. John Book have been sort of funny, not funny as in comedic, but funny as in they've not been doing that well, but they had a pretty good result away at Seoul last game, so they're missing Kim Jun-hoon's away. He's a young goalkeeper. He's away with Asian under 23 or not in the Asian competition with under 23s. I think they'll beat Diageo, to be honest. No Cezinha at the moment as well. Pohang Steelers playing against Incheon. Pohang again have been pretty strong, so that's a pretty interesting one from their point of view. The other thing to point out though is that we do have a sort of double game week as well. So FC Seoul, the Acheon, Suwon, and who's the other one? Is it Gimcheon? And Gimcheon. So there's 4 teams who have a double game week, which is an obvious advantage in terms of the special as well. So who are you going to sort of look for? I mean, we'll come back to the actual sort of player stats, etc. But Yunbit Go or Yunbit Gram, pretty good. 2 fixtures against Seoul and who's the other team playing? Gwangju. Ulsan have Jeju, and Ulsan also are at home, so that's going to be kind of interesting. So data's not all fully updated there, but hopefully a nice wee quick overview of things there. And we'll come back, we'll be selecting some lineups and everything for that as well. Premier League, it's nice to break this down because we do have a specific Premier League contest. Newcastle with the plum fixture, i.e. against Sheffield United. The thing is with Sheffield United, they do sometimes come up with goals, etc. So it could be very stackable, but 2.86 expected team goals. Only a 45% clean sheet percentage, and Sheffield United kind of gone down swinging in many ways in the games. So it could be interesting. Manchester City against Nottingham Forest. Yeah, Manchester City play against Brighton Thursday night, so it's going to be an interesting one. Haaland's out at the moment. When will he come back? Phil Foden looks as if he's okay. 2.32 expected team goals. Manchester United against Burnley. Again, I don't really trust Manchester United at the moment, but I would trust them if Bruno Fernandes would do 100 later. Liverpool against West Ham. See how Liverpool got on the derby against Everton. I mean, stuttered a bit, but big players coming back, and I think winning a clean sheet against Everton would do the trick. But you just never know. Everton not really been in good form, but it's that local derby, and that can prompt things. Arsenal away at Tottenham Hotspurs. That's going to be an interesting one. I mean, Arsenal, I was so impressed with them against Chelsea. People slag off Chelsea and all that sort of stuff, but if you watch that performance, Martin Odegaard, Havertz, Declan Rice was excellent. I mean, Arsenal were absolutely brilliant. Aston Villa against Chelsea, you wouldn't write off Aston Villa doing a number on Chelsea. Cole Palmer, obviously a big miss. Maybe he'll be back, but Aston Villa very solid. And Bournemouth against Brighton. Further down, Wolves against Luton. That's expected team goals. Clean sheet percentage wise, nothing really standing out too much. Again, Spurs do score a lot of goals, but Arsenal probably best defence in the league, still on 28% clean sheet percentage. Newcastle, Manchester City, Man United 45, 44 and 36. So that reflects anything I've done in relation to sort of FPL or FPL related. I don't really play that seriously. I play a bit of fan teams, just found it murder. Champions, so you'll have some EPL games in here. I'll avoid them because we just talked about them. Bayern Munich against Eintracht Frankfurt, 2.45 expected team goals. Bayern, I think, still do have to get some results to make sure they get second, etc. Did leave some guys out against Union Berlin, still hammered in goals. So again, expect them to score a few. Not been the best in keeping clean sheets. We'll avoid Manchester City and Manchester United, but does show there's still quite a lot of the EPL fixtures are sort of better fixtures in terms of stats. Paris Saint-Germain, pretty tough to pick just now. I mean, they're throwing in a few youngsters here and there. You know, really good news for me after buying Marquinhos. Sorare, there we go. That's what it is. Leipzig against Dortmund, a bit of a cracking game. Leipzig expect 2.14 team goals. Barcelona, they're at Leverkusen. Again, what will Leverkusen do? They seem to just refuse to be beaten at the moment, which is really quite interesting. We've got the other teams on the list. You can pause, mate, and have a look at that if you want further information. Reminder, this information is from Sorare and probabilities. That's the spreadsheet I'm using here as well. Clean sheet percentages, Inter Milan, Bologna. Bologna have been really good this season, actually, so quite interesting in terms of Thiago Motta. Good team. Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona, again, Ter Stegen back now, which is quite interesting. Lazio, Atalanta. Anything that's around about 50% is pretty good. When you're getting below that, you know, you're getting into dodgy territory, but that's the nature of football these days as well. Challenger. So, expected team goals. Sparta Rotterdam, that is good news for me. 45% expect clean sheet percentage as well, so good to have the boys back. Ghent and Westerlo have not been very good recently, so I see that being a good fixture for them. Fenerbahce against Besiktas, that's going to be a big game. I mean, there's some really big games coming up in Turkey. Fenerbahce are due to go away to Galatasaray in the next few weeks as well. That's going to be a real sort of title decider. So, get your hard hats out for that one. Allianspor, Galatasaray would mentioned, not in that context. LA appearing with respect to team goals. Benfica, pretty tough fixture against Braga. I think Braga are fourth, Benfica are second. Columbus Crew, probably not hit their stride yet, but a team expect to be pretty good over the summer. Clean sheet percentage wise, so Bristol City, not really any license cards. Copenhagen as well. So top clean sheet percentages, not many license cards there. Trabzonspor I don't really trust. They've been rotten. Atletico Mineiro, a lot of historic cards there. Leicester, a lot of cards from last season. Suppose Columbus Crew 42%. Nothing really a huge standout. Not your sort of 60% ones, which I would say are more prime fixtures, and probably find them more in Contender, which obviously a different division. So Contender ready. That's not quite what the old guy sounded like, but there we go. Hajduk split, so 2.95 team goals and 65% clean sheet percentage. See what I'm saying there? Universitario, pretty good fixture, or a really good fixture for them. Celtic, so 2.5 expected team goals and 45% clean sheet. I think last time twice Celtic played Dundee, Dundee have scored 3-1 and 7-1, scored a lot of goals, quite interesting. St Pauli, 2.33 expected team goals, they're really pushing for promotion. Club America, Parma, Dynamo Zagreb, so Again, a pretty good fixture for them, over 2 expected team goals, 55% clean sheet percentage. Nothing else really standing out too much. Clean sheets, so Millionaires, not many cards. Hadric split we mentioned. Valladolid, pretty interesting. They should have a lot of licensed cards. Real Oviedo as well. And quite a lot hovering about more towards the 50%, so maybe a wee bit more reliable. Even if you look at the bottom of this list, Vissel Kobe 46% and Celtic 45%, which is better than a lot of the challenger ones. So in terms of the Celtic playsharper prediction, run through this and then we'll get back into the K-League. Joe Hart 95%, 100% retiring unfortunately, or 99% retiring. I don't see him change his mind now. Greg Taylor, Alistair Johnson, nailed. No real injury news. Carter Vickers, the same. I've got Liam Scales 90%. He returned to the cup game. He'd been injured before that, came back. He was rubbish. He was really bad. Really bad in that the goals came down his side from crosses and stuff. So maybe he was just a wee bit rusty after the injury, etc. I think he'll play, but I've got my 90%. Just bear in mind that if he does have any more sort of bad form, then everybody's place I suppose is at risk at some point. But I'm confident he'll start. Hatate 95%, Matt O'Reilly 95%. I don't really see any real risk there. Both started the cup semi-final. Callum McGregor again played the cup semi-final, and Rogers said he wouldn't last the game, and he was taken off at 60-ish, 65 for Tommy Kawata. I've got him up at 90%. I just think after starting the cup semi-final, Rogers build him up for the run-in. Might be wrong, been wrong before, but I can only give you my best estimate here. Nicholas Kuhn, 95%. I think he's really nailed down that side. He's developed quite a good relationship with Alistair Johnson. Scored the goal. I wouldn't say he was brilliant in the cup, but he did score the goal. The left wing's a real difficult one, so I've got Yang at 45%, Forrest 35%, Palma at 20%. People will be raging that Palma's only at 20%. I know he's been an expensive card and all that type of stuff, but he was rubbish when he came on the cup. So he had an error-led goal, didn't play well, didn't look sharp. Obviously needs game time and stuff, but if he does get game time soon, I think it'll be from the bench. Furuhashi up top, 70%, Ida 30%. Again, Furuhashi never scored in the cup, but he did make the goal for Kuhn. He hunted the guy down, got the ball, had a shot, ball broke, Kuhn scored. So I do imagine that he'll probably start again. Not guaranteed again, could be a slight change. Lots of games coming up, but there's been a break of pretty much a week. So first and foremost, we're going to do some special weekly work. Again, this is the real value of the spreadsheet as well. I really enjoy being able to have all these different filters. Shout out to Egal, been helping me with a lot of stuff recently, and I think the results are really showing that as well. I know I enter a shitload of teams, but you've got to beat everybody else that enters as well. And I think from that point of view, it's been working pretty well. So K-League special, filter to that, and then I'll go with limited. Now I have two options here, and it's got Ulsan and Seoul. It's going to be pretty predictable, but from that point of view, we're going at a fair amount here. $700 for first. You think the whole Seoul collection or whatever was about $80 or whatever. So that's a real significant amount. Pretty interesting. So I think the first one to pick is going to be Seoul. I don't fancy really mixing them in. I think given that Seoul bakes away, so Choi had a wee bit of an issue in the previous game, but they've got a double game week, so they've got two games here, both away, which is interesting, but I do fancy think putting them in together. I think that makes sense. Kim Si-sung, I think, is injured, so Choi Jun seems the most sensible selection. I could mix it up and put Key in with Ulsan, but I don't really fancy that too much, just from the perspective of Ulsan just going to the semi-final extra time there. So I think I'm just going to be going with strongest stack that I can get out here for Seoul, and I think Palisevic, there could be an argument for playing him, or we could go with Eljuchenko. I think that I'm going to go with Eljuchenko just because It's 2 games. I don't think there's anything particularly standing out clean sheet wise. Where you went, Stano? Here we go. Keeson Young, ex-Celtic Capitano. Job done. We'll see how we got on. So we've got 2 chances, so we can add another team. Ulsan's got to go in here. I mean, been sort of building them up for this. Joe Genius nailed. Defence, etc. is going to be interesting. I think that being a home game, I might just go with 1 defender. Sol Young played the whole game, so it's difficult. They might, if I see that there's projected changes or whatever, then there could be a mix up here. But Sol Young was the best attacker in terms of overall averages. Going to go for something a bit different midfield and go for Bojanic. He came on, he took a penalty, scored, played pretty well from what I could see as well. Cezinha's still out. Up front's a difficult one. They may well rotate in Martin Adam, but Jarman Q didn't last the full game. Then we go for somebody probably attacking. Ludvigsen, again, more of a quiet game. I think that Lee Ji Sung could be a good shout because he shares the set pieces with Lee Dong Gyung and he's away now to the army thing, so that could be quite interesting. I'm gonna have to check the predictions, etc. But that's going to be the real sort of difficult decision. I'm going to go with my gut on that. I mean, it's probably just talking complete and utter garbage. Could be. I could be talking garbage. Bojanic took a penalty, so I'm going to captain him. But he played really well against Yokohama, so there we go. Could be talking wins, but that happens all the time, so who cares? Bugger it. We'll have a look. Anyway, get the rare team in as well. Again, Joe Yu. I might not have as many options here because I haven't bought all of the different rare options. Just picked up kind of what I could for the selection. Although, yeah, so I could go with Yunbit Goat here. I think that's interesting because you get double game week as well. I'm going to be kind of, if Sol Young-woo doesn't start, I'm going to be gutted. So I might need to review that. Eljichenko, I think, makes a lot of sense. And I've got a Bojanic as well, which is quite good. Yunbit Graham's pretty maxed out. So he sees 11%. I've got a lot of these guys up to 12.5, so actually a slight disadvantage to having the collection guys. But, mix in a good fixture with the double game weeks as well. I could, in terms of up front, I'd love to be able to play Cezinha, but that would be a bad mistake because he's injured. Oh crap. Can't play 2 of them. Oh yeah, got to have 4. Right, I'm not playing Eljichenko then. Could be taking a risk on Martin Adam as well, but unless there's planned rotations. So that's quite nice. Suppose we have the Ulsan stack and Yunbit. Got to be under 270 average. Why do they do this stuff to me? Where's the average shown then? See requirements. Well, it'd help if I could see the bloody average, wouldn't it? Is there an average in this? We're supposed to just count it up ourselves then? Where's the frickin'... Where is it? This was an affordable only thing there. Yunbit Graham. German Q. And then I suppose we could do affordable only. 42. So that's going to be a bit harder. I really want to play Yunbit Graham here. I suppose I could make a wee bit of a change in defence. Just sort of go against Sol Young-woo there. Guan played as well. I don't have Lee Myung-jae yet. Again, Kim Young-won's centre defender, so I suppose maybe puts in a bit less energy. It doesn't, it's not really made much of a difference here. Saleh's played as well, but then that kind of makes me think that he might not play, if that makes sense. It's a pain in the ass, that actually. I suppose you can see why the 270's in there, right? Because try to make it fair for everybody. I don't really want to gamble on Isaka, and I don't have. I suppose that Ulsan have been doing pretty well, so that's kind of why as well. So I could go with Bojanjic, and then Schumann Q, and then Ford only, so I can't get Ewan Bit going. That is very disappointing. Could go for Big Stano. Doesn't get as much A, etc. But I really want to attack those double game weeks as well, right? That's why I'm sort of nearly in tears here, because I can't. Where's it been? I was just going to go for Bajan's captain. Look at it. It's a lot of money in the line. I'll revise that, but I just think he came on in the semi-final and he took the penalty and stuff, so I think he could be playing a leading role. It could be a wee sort of tip. Juman Q may well get rotated for Adam, so that's where it's difficult. So I could play Eljichenko there and play another option there. So all interesting stuff in terms of the K-League Special Weekly. Loads of money on the line as well. Right, let's do some contender stuff. Contender Classic, and so this is going to be our sort of Celtic stuff here. I'm not going to go through them all. So spent 20 minutes already. Quite a big preview this week as well. In season, hail the cash is here. No real surprise there. So I only really have a heavy sort of Celtic in season element here, so it's not a huge discussion point. So Joe Hart, and then in season cards only. So Liam Scales I'm going to be using. Played in the cup, so no real reason to leave him out, I don't think. Matt O'Reilly, getting wrong scarcity here. 77 estimated scores, pretty high, so that's good. Definitely going to use him in here. Nicholas Kuhn definitely makes sense. There's a wee bit of leeway on this one as well, because I think you can use 3 and 2. You can't you? So it doesn't have to all be in season. So it's a case of picking other Celtic cards who could do well, and so Cameron Carter Vickers. Again, I don't think that Palmer's going to start, so it's got to be Matt O'Reilly captain. I think that makes sense. We'll do the in-season Celtic for this one as well. Again, do have all the different options here. I suppose as a differential, you could run some of the double game week guys in here. A lot of people run them in the special. I'm going to go for my highest chance of winning and my highest XP stuff. I mean, 17% and things on scales is a bit obscene. Matt O'Reilly, I don't know. Getting the stats out there. Up front, Kuhn, Furuhashi. I don't have any Celtic Kuhn yet, so that's kind of interesting because he doesn't have a Celtic shirt one, so but a wee bit more of a differential from that point of view as well. So I'm just going to run with a similar lineup there. That's not very interesting for everybody, sorry, but that's what I'm going to do. Let's pick some under 23s, then we'll do some EPL, and then you'll be fed up listening to me at that point. So that'll probably be plenty for everybody. So 23s limited. I have picked up a few limited recently. Kind of pleased to get back in amongst that and just have a bit of fun, to be honest. Like, it's good to bring back some fun, buy some kind of cheaper cards, not be as concerned about it. Pretty difficult fixture for Kavlina. That's not good to see. So playing against Rijek, I think I'll avoid him. Although Rosenberg are playing Bodo, so they score a lot of goals as well. Guttelbauer I would quite like to use, but I'm not really so sure. Him and Bonham have been rotating, so that's going to be difficult. Tangvik has got the highest expected score, which is interesting. I suppose Rosenberger be a bit more solid. Might just use him as a nice hedge against my my sort of Hogga, etc. and Evgen. Defence, Mauro Perkovic, he was suspended recently, so I think he'll come back in the team, should be nice and fresh. I'm not really fancying the double defence against Bodo, if I'm perfectly honest, although Nemchik's been pretty good, but Perkovic definitely comes into reckoning here. Do have some Matt O'Reillys and stuff to use, so this is where it gets a bit more interesting. I don't think I'll use my high XP ones because I want my high XP ones for the classic. 8.5, I think that's alright. Palma, I don't think will start. Nicholas Gerrit-Kuhn, don't mind using another one in here. I'll review that because if I need him for a cash comp, then might need to sort of move him back out. Bernardo, I don't think will start. Vidovic kind of been starting pretty much all games recently, so quite interesting. Nico Serrano estimated 64 is quite interesting, so I think we'll play wee Nico Serrano in here as well. On loan from Atletico Bilbao, so his future kind of a wee bit up in there, but we could go for something like that. So quite interesting. What is sort of rare now, should have more options available in terms of rare level. Don't have any Newcastle stacks, so when we get to the actual EPL stuff, Philip Jorgensen, not a bit unusual to see him that high up. Osako, his scores have been pretty poor if he's not been keeping clean sheets, but Sanfrecce, then, you know, you would imagine they're going to hit one soon. Who are they playing? Frontale. I don't really fancy them against Frontale. I think Frontale are alright, to be honest. Wakazika, etc. there. Interesting. Jorgensen. Where's Truman? Yeah, it's because it's against Braga, right? Braga, so not a high expected clean sheet percentage. Again, kind of interesting to be able to do this, project score, clean sheet percentages. So 55%, there's a lot of these guys are not actually playing as well. Osako's actually quite a good clean sheet percentage, probably at home as well. That's a difficult one. Strong defence. I suppose if Frontale create a wee bit more, then maybe you'll get a wee bit of Kriegman. Interesting. Perkovic really high up. It's interesting. Schlotterbeck further down is playing Leipzig, you know, so again, I'm going to use Perkovic again in here. Check with my good friend Michael Mila and make sure he's going to be starting, etc. Foden I'd love to use, Pep Roulette and everything, maybe keep in there. I think I'm going to have to use a Matt Riley in here. It's a shame to get him out of the Celtic stacks, but under 23 is still something I'm prioritising a lot. Matt Riley, Thiago Almada's got a pretty nice game as well. Probably just use both of them. Yeah, we'll use O'Reilly because Hatati's back as well, so I have the option of using Hatati in some teams. We'll use Amada in here as well. Koki Saito, really excellent fixture against Volendam, so that's an interesting one. You know, I'd be tempted to use the big champ guys, etc., you know, but the Vinicius Junior, but wee Koki Cola has been doing pretty well recently. You can see that from his stats, so pretty good. Average score 64. And then, what do we say? Thiago Almada. Chicago have been pretty poor. Who are we going to go for captain wise? Who are you going to call? Matt O'Reilly. Thought I was going to say Ghostbusters there, didn't I? Super rare team will fix myself. Right. Let's pick an English Premier League team. So some of these might actually be promoted, etc. Usually go for the in-season one first, just from a point of view of using the in-season cards. Premier League Classic. I always use a Classic. The reason I use a Classic is because it's good to show like all the information. So what do I mean by that? Well, the ones who are in-season cards are shown in green. So I know that basically. Now for here, I might go Man City. Could be interesting. Nottingham Forest, pretty good fixture there. Alisson against West Ham might keep for the Classic. So Ederson lets me use a kanji, right? Because I'll know kind of roughly from the game on Thursday night if Kanji's likely to start. He does play in a few different positions, so that's quite interesting. Again, I think it seems quite natural to use Phil Foden in here as well. Bruno Fernandes, hopefully if he makes it tonight, should be okay. Might use Trossard in here. Might say a waste of a super rare. The cashier's really good. Really good cash levels. Bruno Fernandes, captain at home. Somebody scored. Hear that in the background. Classic EPL crushers. There's no indication yet as to whether they're going up or down, etc. Star for first in 3 boxes. Not as many stars as top division, so good to get back into there. Again, it's going to have to be Alisson. Virgil van Dijk, I don't see being rotated at this point. Could do the old Classic and mix in somebody from Arsenal or somebody from Man City. Quite like mixing in De Bruyne in here. I don't think Pep will mess about as much at this time of the season. Salah. Where's Trent? Just kind of got to go for the sort of peak team, right? Just got to go for the peak team. Nottingham Forest, I think Kevin De Bruyne captain's quite interesting. Nice high averages, all very star players and stuff, and press the wrong button. And I've done it again. I should really cut that out, but I can't be bothered. Sorry guys, if you want to go for a channel where they spend 2 hours editing and stuff, then watch somebody else. That's a good promotion for the channel there, isn't it? Is there anything else topical we need to discuss? Oh, a senior special weekly. Let's do that. You can enter 3 times. I don't know if I'll be entering this 3 times. I mean, you can win a star for first. Then you've got 5 tier 1s and you've got boxes. So interesting. So let's do all. And then, do we have an age one here? We should have an age. Age team, home, league. Gal's usually got it covered. Is he not? Senior special. Go on yourself, Gal. Brilliant. Right, so you see there's still a lot of people available here, right? I mean, Ortega Moreno's not going to play. I'm not going to use Alisson in here. Joe Hart, I'm keeping Celtic stacks. Joe Yin-Woo I'm using. Joe Willis could be a good shout. Yeah, he came on at half time actually. For Nashville, so could be a good to use him in here because I don't think I'll use him elsewhere actually, so could be a nice wee sort of different take in terms of where to use someone. I don't think a lot of people prioritise this, certainly I'm not really prioritising it much myself. Ricardo Pereira started last game, played pretty well. I'm not using Virgil in here I don't think. Douglas Santos etc. Zimmerman's injured, so I'm not going to be stacking the defence. I could use Ricardo Pereira. That's could be a fun one. Ricardo Pereira. Midfield, you and Mick go. Did I use him in here? That's probably not the most optimal thing to do. Canales. Valeri Kazishvili, use Vaco in here. Canales, we might use Canales actually. 33. Clearing the bar with absolutely no effort required. Salah's available. Immobile. Big Chiro. Don't really use him much these days. I'm going to use it here for fun. That's a bit of good sweat. Immobile. He's in the seniors. Wonder if I'll get a game in goals actually. Chiro. After my Sorare 7's performance. Potential return injury. I think he played in the cup, came on the cup, so it's fine. And then who else are we going to chuck in? We are just chucking people in this, but it's fun, isn't it? A bit of fun. So Jordan Shaqiri can play Shaqiri. Try to think of guys who are like kind of good options, but I don't really play often in my other teams as well. Nice sort of fun um, chance. Still a chance at a star, right? And yeah, I guess maybe 30's not old enough. If you're asking Bull Stars, you'd probably want like 40 or something. That like you know what I mean from that point. It was like there's still a lot of really good players at just over 30. And all my specials have disappeared now. Why has that happened? Live. Your competitions. Where are they going? Hiding from me. Oh, I went down here. It's because I've picked a team for it now. So I've got all stars and caps and everything to pick as well, but I think that's quite enough for the weekend. So anyway, that's been quite a good preview, I think, hopefully for everyone. Hopefully there's a lot of information in there as well. If you do have any specific things you want to check, any opinions you want for the K-League Weekly, etc., let me know. Final thing, if you made it to this part of the video, thanks very much for staying with it. 36 minutes, that's a long time. Hopefully you've not fallen asleep yet. If you're playing the J-League Special Weekly, which is up and coming, Yokohama Marinos have made it to the final, which means that they're going to miss the game against San Frecce on the 11th of May. I knew there was one other piece of news that we would need to cover. So we've got the special weekly stuff, which has been announced. A wee bit more notice this time. European Night Special Weekly, 30th of April to the 3rd of May. It's a 290 point cap. See, I was wrestling with a 270 there for this K-League. There's 4, so there's one for limited, rare, super rare, and unique. And you need some in-season cards. People are not always that happy about that, but you look at the money they're giving out here, and it's a semi-finals. We've only got 10, 12 teams playing, so if you've got somebody that far, you've got those players. Well done. If you've not, then it might be worth actually having a go at getting a Virts or a Grimaldo or whatever, and having your go at the 1500 for first and limited, 3000 for first and rare, 4000 in super rare, and 5000 in unique. Really good. J-League Special Weekly, specific blog post for that, but just bear in mind the one the 14th, 15th of, so it starts 14th, but the 15th of May, game for San Frecce and Yokohama will be off because Yokohama Marinos are playing in the AFC Champions League final. They will also have a game in this weekend as well. Could really be a big problem, could be postponed, etc. So be careful if you're buying Yokohama players for this special, because their games are going to fall in the special, and that's not covered. The AFC Champions League, it's only J-League games. European Night Special, so we've got 7th to 10th of May. It's mainly just big cash prize for podiums and cards, but then again, this is going to be right towards the end of the competition as well. And we've already had the kind of 50,000 one for the previous one. So I think it's at the return leg. So I suppose there's kind of element of unfairness there in terms of if you've got the home leg first or whatever, but you know, that's what it is. Nice to see specials. 7th for me, we've also got South American Continental Night Special Weekly. Again, it's not a big cash type competition, but there's cash for podium, Sorare cards, reward boxes, including cards, mystery jerseys, and level ups, or just including level ups. No, I mean, I've won sort of one of everything, so I'm being facetious there. Legends Special Weekly, back 10th to 14th of May. Again, you can win Sorare Pro cards. You need at least one Legend card, maximum of 3, and some other cards, so they're sort of mixing it in there. No real sort of cash prizes, but good to see some utility for Legends. And last but not least, there's an Underdog Special Weekly, which is on 28th of May, and it's players with average of 50 and below, and there's one at Super Rare and Unique as well, which is quite cool because I've got a lot of cards that are doing crap. So maybe they can play against other crap cards and I'll have a chance. And that's the overview there as well. And also 14th to 17th of May we'll have Champion, Challenger and Contender Open as well. And I've been looking ahead to that, getting ready for it, because there's some good games that week in Norway, etc. And I'm obsessed with Holga and FGen, and Tangvik and all that sort of stuff these days because I want to play over the summer. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please like, please subscribe, please share it on Twitter, please tell your pals, all that type of stuff. And thanks again for watching. We'll end in customary fashion. Good luck and go for it.